After a lengthy journey, I had finally arrived. I was in Glasgow. You see, this weekly adventure, which took place last Sunday, was something that me and my friends scheduled. We were intending to meet up in Glasgow and have a very fun day where we'd go to a restaurant and play laser tag and do all of these really fun activities, and I was so hyped up for it. I didn't know what to expect. There were so many new people to meet, and I could cold approach girls since they're actually women my age in Glasgow for once. I could have so much fun at the restaurant. I could destroy my friend in laser tag and everyone else, maybe get the worldwide high score. I got to Glasgow and I was immediately filled with dread. I was so confused. Why? I had hyped this up for the entire week. Why was I filled with this odd sense of lethargy? It didn't make any sense to me. So what I did is I manually hyped myself up again. Like in my mind and even out loud, it's like, I'm in Glasgow, I was hyping this up. Yes, this is what I wanted. Finally, I'm here. I'm gonna do this and this and this and this. It's gonna be so fun. Let's be happy, let's be excited. And then I got excited. But the fact that I was instinctually annoyed the second I got into Glasgow maybe shows something about my personality or just my person in general. Maybe it was hinting at the fact that this wasn't gonna be a very good day. So, me and my friend, we meet up and immediately we go to this museum. We didn't really fully schedule out what we were going to do. And we were kind of just winging it. That's kind of a bad habit of mine. I don't like doing all of these logistic activities. It's annoying to me. I like just getting right to the action. I didn't plan out anything. I was just like, friend, I have a £100 budget. Let's meet up in Glasgow. That's it. We meet up. And my friend already has been to Glasgow quite a lot. So he shows me around this museum and it has some precarious art pieces. I took some photos. So for some odd reason, there was an art exhibit with ice cream in it. It didn't make any sense to me. Somebody somehow got some sort of award from having two ice cream cones platted next to each other. And then another thing, this is gonna be bad. There were pictures, like not even an art piece or a drawing or a design, literally just a photograph of two gay men kissing each other in bed in a museum. If you've been to Glasgow, you may know what museum I'm talking about. It was not the best sight to behold. I don't know how that got any sort of recognition. Probably something to do with the fucking mainstream media or something. There's no way people saw that and they literally purposely awarded it some sort of prize and put it up in a... I just can't believe that. Then I walked ahead, gay people, weird ice cream, some other art pieces like teacups which didn't even have any sort of exquisite design. I didn't understand the appeal of them. Maybe I just don't get art. But I pushed past all of the dust and I walked forward with my friend. And he stopped me. Prince, don't go into that room. I know you're tempted, just don't do it. And I was like, bro, what's gonna happen if I go into this room? And he didn't exactly tell me, but I was like, bro, it's fine. There's nothing that I'll see that'll really affect me that much. What? Is it just some random images of bugs? You think I'm scared of bugs, bro? Fucking, you're gay. Let me go in. So I walk in. I'm excited. I don't know what to expect. There were full-on pictures of pride flags, an entire room of LGBTQ stuff there. And there was a specific sentence. I think it said something like the gays are always here, or the LGBTQ people are always watching. I don't even know what it said, but that fucking haunted me. So I walked in with enthusiasm. I turned around and I went the fuck out because I didn't know what the hell, who made that, why that was in an entire museum that was probably costing thousands upon hundreds of thousands of pounds every single month to be there. I don't know how that got in there. I don't know why that got in there. I don't know who put that there, but that was absolutely revolting. It was very difficult to ignore that, but I just had to push through. You know, I can't let this affect my day. So I ignore all of the gay stuff. We actually do end up going to this one art exhibit, and it was about this girl who was a designer. I'm not entirely sure the entire history behind it, but in each of these exhibits, there's kind of like one member of staff who's just kind of there, maybe sitting down, maybe walking around, and you can talk to them, maybe for some help or some information about the art pieces. So I talked to her, and I was like, hey, excuse me, miss. Could you explain the appeal of all of these art pieces? They seem quite bland. There was literally an art piece that was just text. It was just text on some textured piece of paper. And it said, is this a rhetorical question? And then under it said the word silence, ... I didn't, how is that in a museum? It just didn't make sense to me. So I really needed some consolidation about how these things are even allowed to be here. Because there are some true masterpieces that don't get any recognition. And then there are poorly drawn pride flags with threats, with the gays talking about how they are coming. Not that way. I mean, anyways, so so I talked to this lady, and me and my friend and her actually have quite a wholesome conversation about the entire art exhibit and who this designer is. And apparently the entire wall of this exhibit was literally designed by a specific person. So this person made this huge design, like with her hands, like she painted her entire body and was doing this on the walls very precisely. And she got a team of obviously construction workers to place the wallpaper on the entire room. So that was quite an interesting thing to hear. My friend actually rated that as the best exhibit in the entire museum. And it probably was. To be honest, of course, not only the art pieces that were there were quite interesting, but there was also the added bonus of having some sort of memory to link to that place because there was somebody we talked to. So it was quite a nice exhibit, I won't lie. I don't know what the exhibit is called. We leave the museum after 1 hour, maybe 2. We head to a restaurant, we eat a bit because I'm starving. My friend, for some odd reason, despite wanting to eat healthier, he gets like an entire bowl of chocolate. Like, he has his first meal, which is normal. And then the second meal is literally just an entire huge bowl of ice cream and ice cream cones. And I don't even know why he does that. Because he literally wants to eat healthier. And then he decides it would be a good idea, because it's a restaurant and of course it's like a cheat day, to have an entire bowl of ice cream for no reason. It just kind of shocked me. I didn't do that. I literally just ate chicken and meat. So, I mean, maybe I'm a little bit bland with my food options, but I mean, steak tastes really good. So, can you blame me? Anyways, we finished from the restaurant after learning a little bit about etiquette, because turns out in the UK, when you're eating, you're meant to have your fork in your left hand and your knife in the right. which is fucking insane. Who does that, bro? Fork in the left hand. That's weird. Anyways, for some reason that's etiquette rules. There's probably a deep-rooted history behind that. Maybe you can look it up. And whilst we are walking to the laser tag place, because we do want to, play laser tag so I can beat him, of course. Whilst we are walking through the streets of Glasgow, I'm talking to Dima, but at the same time I'm kind of scanning around, looking at my surroundings, and also kind of trying to take the opportunity to cold approach. Again, I am a social YouTuber, so I do need to level up my skill myself. And I noticed something. Every single girl there who's my age, I mean, maybe not every single one, but for the vast majority of girls my age, they were wearing disgusting, revealing clothing. Like, they'd basically be wearing very revealing skin suits in a town or city, I mean. Like bras that were just stringy, so they were like barely covering anything up, and like really mini skirts where you could literally see their glutes there. I don't even know why they would. No. Society has conditioned women to wear things like this, but it's still quite appalling that the parents of the last generation would even permit for their little child to even wear something like this, which was quite a huge reality hit. I normally see this type of stuff happening online, but I don't really believe it to be true. Like, you normally see these blue-haired feminists online who scream in your face about how women should be able to sleep with anyone. But I don't actually see that in real life. It's a lot more projected in social media than it is in real life. You most likely, no matter where you go, you most likely won't get some guy or some girl like shouting at you because you look too masculine. That probably won't happen. So it was really quite a hit to see that most girls and people who are my age, so 16, less than 16, wearing these revealing clothing. It just kind of disgusted me. It was completely repugnant. So I didn't end up cold approaching, ironically, despite being a social YouTuber. And maybe I'm coping. Maybe I wanted to talk to them and I was just making excuses. That's for you to decide. That's up to interpretation. But at least from my perspective, I don't think I'd even want to talk to these types of people. And maybe next time I probably should, just for the experience of seeing what would happen. But generally, it just doesn't seem right. Maybe for you, maybe you're somebody who is a little bit more degenerate and you don't really care as much. But just personally, like my values, it's just kind of weird to purposely talk to somebody who you don't want to talk to. Just through my experience of learning about social skills, when you do stuff like that, you end up just having conversations which you find to be very boring. And of course you can't talk to someone like this and you'll have a magnificent conversation, so maybe I should have, again. That next time I'll try. But I didn't end up cold approaching. That's something I do need to admit. We go to laser tag. And I lose. Twice. I lose twice to my friend in laser tag. And here's the thing. This laser tag place was essentially completely empty. There was no one here. Just me and my friend. So it was just a one-on-one. And bro, I know what you're saying. You think I'm shit at laser tag, and I'm not. I'm actually very good at laser tag. And I was literally, laser tag is like this game where you both go into this room and you have this equipment on you with like these buttons on you. So you have this gun and you can shoot these buttons that are glowing in this dark room, and when you shoot them you gain points. And I swear to God, I was literally shooting this guy directly in every single button on his body, and I swear to you, it just wouldn't count. I'm not bad at laser tag. What happened is the machines were racist. There was something wrong with the machinery, the electronic magnetism of the machines, and for some odd reason, when I shot him, it wouldn't work. So that's why I lost, just to clarify. And I mean, I'd say it was kind of a tie, to be honest. That just doesn't really make sense to me how I could lose when I was shooting him more. So after this game, even though it was a tie, I was just like, so, yeah, and enjoy, relish in your fake victory, yeah. So we have this laser tag game. It's fun whilst it lasts. And finally, we go to bowling. But something happens that I wasn't expecting. I was completely well versed in my belief that I would win. Because my motor skills are very good. But the thing is, we had to put a twist on this bowling game. You see, my friend, last time we were playing tennis, had somehow injured his right hand. Like there was some sort of red spots appearing, so he couldn't use it. So I had to swap to my left hand, my non-dominant hand, and I had zero idea on how to use it. So when I was bowling, I had no idea how to aim properly, and I suppose he technically was in the same boat. But it just kind of felt unfair, because had it been my right hand, bro, no chance. He would have stood no chance, and I would have completely decked him. But in this bowling game, somehow he beat me. And that completely went against the natural order of things, because I didn't have my proper hand. I was literally handicapped. So we can talk about how we were both handicapped and stuff like that. But he had an injury and I didn't. So, I mean, I feel like it would have been more fair if I could use my right hand. Because we both played tennis for the same amount of time. And he got hurt and I didn't because I'm built different. So, I don't know, man. I think I was handicapped. Anyways, we pushed past that. We played some of the arcade games because this was like an arcade with a bar, with bowling. It was the entire thing of things. So we played some of these arcade games. I completely wreck him. That helps a little bit. I was using my left hand as well whilst I beat him. There's this game where you kind of have this disc on this slippery board and you need to kind of push it forward into the other goal. I don't know what it's called. And I beat him every single time besides once. So, yeah. That's something good. We leave and we wait for the bus. Apparently, the bus is only going to come here in an hour. Which would be quite boring to wait for, wouldn't it? Waiting an entire extra hour just so we can go back home. These two, maybe Pakistani, maybe Indian couple, they approach us and ask us if we are going to the same place that they are going to. And we are. So they propose the idea of booking this group cab. So in Scotland, we have these things called cabs. Basically the same as Uber or taxis, but we just call them cabs because I guess Scotland likes being unique. So I've never booked a group cab, and it could have ended up really dangerously, to be honest. Like, they could have potentially booked some group cab where they book it to a completely different location and then ditch us in this random area that we've never been to before, and now we are lost and don't know what's going on. Or could have potentially kidnapped us, I don't know. It could have been risky. And if he's watching this video, it's gonna be a little rude. I don't think he would. But, you know, I looked at him, little bit of a flabby belly, looked a little bit soft. I think he was also shorter than me. I'm like 6 foot, so of course. Of course. I looked at his wife. Well, not wife. Girlfriend, who knows. She just looked to be minding her own business. Fair enough. I don't think there's much bad that could happen. Appearances do show a lot about somebody. I agree. Give him some money. So we kind of split the bill in half. And if you've never booked a group cab, maybe you can save some money whilst you're going home. Nothing bad actually happens. I talked to him for a little bit. Apparently he likes football. Apparently he doesn't believe Messi is the best footballer. I don't watch football, but my friend says he is, and my friend is a bit more trustworthy than some randos, so Messi probably is the best footballer. And we get home safely. Surprisingly. Could have been some interesting experience where we get kidnapped, but fortunately, it wasn't. I'm not some masochist. I don't hope to be kidnapped. I hope I'm not. Moral of the story. Women in Glasgow are most likely hoes. Remember, consistency is over a lifetime. Not bye-bye. Look at the top link in the description. Buy my social protocol course. Bye.